Hello, good evening all. Am I audible? Any doubts, ma, in yesterday's class? Any doubts regarding all the control structures in Python? I hope all of you practiced all the control structures, starting from simple if statement, okay, else statement, if else, elif. Any doubts in that? If you don't have any doubts, then I'll start. I didn't get prime number. I will share. Yeah, yes, you can share. Yes, you can share your screen. Okay. I equals to I plus 1 n percentage I. Okay, actually this much of logic is not required to check whether the given number is prime or not. I'll tell you simple logic. Okay, you can write this one also, but I equals to I plus 1. Whenever you are writing for loop, okay, automatically it will increment. You don't need to write I equals to I plus 1. Automatically it will increment. If you are using while loop, we are going to write explicitly I equals to I plus 1. Okay. Okay, so here you write for I in range of you change that for I in range of 2 comma n. You change it to 2 comma n. 2 comma n. If n mod I is equals to, remove that I is equals to I plus 1. If n mod I is equals to 0, okay, remove all these factors, everything, you remove that the two lines. If n mod I is equals to 0, remove that one also. If n mod I is equals to 0, if everything you remove, only you write yeah, print not prime. Instead of print prime number, you write print not prime. You remove the next line, elif line. Okay, n mod I is equals to 0. Okay, so print prime number. You can stop. You can write not prime. It is not prime. It is not prime number. First you are displaying not prime, and next we are displaying. Otherwise, you write n mod I is not equals to 0. You write not. Okay, not. Okay, hence prime number. Okay, prime, and after print you write break. After print not prime, then you can write break. Before else you write break. Before else. Hmm. Break. Why you are getting in print break also should be there in same line, right? Okay. Go to print last and press enter. Go to print last line. Before break. Before break you print as a. Before break you print enter. Before break you press enter. Okay. Break should be there in that line. Okay. Now you run this program. The factors, everything you delete. Factors delete. Otherwise you'll get error. Okay. Now you run this program. Unindent does not match any outer indentation. Okay. So go to your program. For I in range 2 comma n, your indentation, and there is problem with your indentation. There is a problem. Yes. Indentation problem only. So you are supposed to check each and every indentation. You go to for after colon you press enter. For loop after colon you press enter. After for loop also you press enter. Okay, now press enter. Okay. After if also you press enter. Next, everything should be aligned. Otherwise you will get error. Else also not aligned. Okay, I'll write that program. That is alignment indentation problem only. Your indentation is not properly matched, right? So if you miss the indentation, you'll get an error. So that's why indentation is very important in Python. Any other doubts, ma? Any other doubts? Indentation already I told you indentation is very important. You should take care about indentation. It's it's looking like very simple concept, but indentation is very important. Like even a single space or without space also, you are going to get so many errors. Okay. Right. So any doubts? Still any more doubts? The logic what I explained just now is very simple logic. I'll try to explain here. Perfect number logic. What is perfect number? You know perfect number, right? Okay. So I'll explain. The logic I'll explain, but you are supposed to write the program. I'm not going to explain the program. Okay, prime number first I'll explain the logic. Next we'll go for perfect number. Prime number is nothing but I told you some simple logic for I in range of n. Now tell me what is the meaning of 2 comma n? If I consider 2 comma n, then what numbers it will take? 2 comma n means what it is going to take? Range of 2 comma n means how many numbers it will consider? Yeah, very good. 2 to n minus 1. Okay. So 2 to n minus 1 means what are excluded here? What are excluded? It is going to consider 2 to n minus 1. What are excluded? Excluded numbers are 1, n, right? 1 and n will be excluded. Why I am excluding 1 and n? Because 1 and n will be the default factors for any number. That is the definition of a prime. A number which is having factors of 1 and itself is nothing but a prime. So that's why I am excluding 1 and n. So just I am checking only the numbers from 2 to n minus 1. So if there is any number divisible in between 2 to n minus 1, any number, any one number is divisible with n, then obviously it is nothing but a prime. That is the logic. All of you understood my logic? Remaining students, please respond. Are you getting or not? So many logics are there, but okay, this is very simple. Yeah. The logic what I am trying to explain is 2 to n means what we'll get here. In 2 to n means in general we'll get 2 to n minus 1. 2 to n minus 1. Already we know how this range function will works. Okay, so 2 to n minus 1 because n is excluded. So here what are the numbers excluded? I am excluding from 1 to n. 1 and n I am excluding. Okay, 1 and n I am excluding here. Okay, so from 2 to n minus 1, if any number is okay, any number is a factor. That's what here I am doing. If n not I double is equals to 0, then I can say that print it's not prime. Printer not prime. Why it is not prime? Because I am getting some more factor in between 2 to n minus 1. Okay. Immediately you can write break. Okay. Else we can write print not prime. Print prime. Right? Understood? Understood now logic, all of you? Bhavya. Understood, Bhavya? Ravani Joshi. Understood or not? Okay, right. Okay. So now one more program asked. That is nothing but a perfect number, right? So what is perfect number? Perfect number is nothing but what is the definition of perfect number? What are the examples of perfect number? 6 is an example of perfect number, right? The sum of the factors of a particular number is equals to the actual number. Sum of the factors. If you remember in yesterday's class, we discussed a program called Armstrong number. In Armstrong number, what we see? Sum of the cubes of the digits. Here, what is the example is 6. What are the factors for 6? Six factors are 1, 2, 3. So if you sum this 1 plus 2 plus 3, that you will get is equals to 6. That is actual number only, right? So these type of numbers are known as we can call it as a perfect number. Okay. If you remember here, okay. So what can I write here? I am going to take the numbers from for I in range of. I am starting from 1 and n. Okay, why I am taking n? Why I am not taking n plus 1? Here n means I am not including 6. If you observe, I am not included 6. If you include 6, then you can get 2 into n. That is different story. Okay. So that I am not talking about inclusion of n. I am talking about exclusion of n. I am not including n. So that's why if you include n, then you'll get 2 into n. The sum of factors will get 2 into n. Okay. So that is also one more definition. But here I'm not including n, so that I'm going to get sum of the factors excluding n will be actual number, right? So this is before this you can take one variable called sum. You can initialize sum value as 0, like yesterday's Armstrong number. So in this test, what I am going to do, simply I can divide if n mod I double is equals to 0. What's the meaning of this? N is divisible by the numbers from 1 to n minus 1. Range of 1 to n means what? Here you will get 1 to n minus 1, right? 1 to n minus 1. We will get 1 to n minus 1. So here, if n is divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, n minus 1. Okay. So then immediately what I'll do, I can add this to factors. Sum is equals to sum plus I. Sum is equals to sum plus I. Yes. Once I got sum, then simply I can compare this. If sum is equals to n, sum is equals to actual number, okay, then simply what I will write? I'll write print of perfect number. Okay. Else I can write print not perfect. Print of not perfect. I think all of you understood this logic. Anybody not understood, please let me know. Sir, if I am executing the prime number program, then I'm getting prime, not prime. The output. Yeah, that is the reason why I told you you are going to use break. If you use break, then only your program will be stopped. Okay, if you don't use break, then what will happen is it is going to continually printing print to not prime. Everything will be printed. That is the reason why you are supposed to stop your program. Because, for example, I can say 6 is a not prime. Okay, according to the logic what I am discussing. For example, the logic what I written for prime, for example, 2 to n. Okay, now let's consider n value is 6. N value is 6. Okay, so now for I in range 2 to n, 2 to n means first I value will be 2. Okay, I value will be 2. So here n mod I, what is n mod I? Here what is n mod I? First I value will become so 2 because we are starting from 2. If n mod I means what? If 6 mod 2, 6 mod 2 is equals to 0. Yes, 6 mod 2 is equals to 0. Yes, it is true. It is true means print not prime. So it is going to print not prime. Okay. So that's it. I don't need to go for other values of I because if it is divisible by any number from 2 to n minus 1, then obviously I don't need to check this 6 with 3, 6 with 4, 6 with 5. Because if it is divisible by more than one number in between 2 to n minus 1, then obviously I can say it's a not prime. Okay, so that's why immediately I'm stopping my program. I don't need to check this with 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, so use break even you are getting error. Okay, then I'll write the program so that you can understand, right? So, anyway, before writing the program, let me clarify any doubts for this perfect number. Is it clear? Logic for perfect number. Please check it. Anyone having anyone not understood anything? No? Please let me know. It's very simple actually because already we discussed similar type of program for Armstrong. There we used cubes of sum of the cubes of digits. But here we are using some of the factors. That is the difference. Is it clear? All of you, perfect number is clear? Please respond in the chat. Is it clear? Perfect number logic. If it is clear, then I will go for this prime number. I will try to explain the prime number. Please, all of you, check it out. Whether is it clear or not. Any doubts? Remaining students, please, because these programs are looking like very simple, but there is a lot of logic involved. You try to understand each and every line. Right? Okay. So now I'll try to explain this program. Write this program. So immediately I'm using break statement here. Okay, else. Enter any number 7. So here if you observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Why you are getting 5 times means here actually the cell should be here. Okay, so that is the reason. Because already I told you, we are going to check it is okay, checked with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we are written 2 to n minus 1. 2 to n means 2 to n minus 1. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Understood all of you? Okay. Any doubts, ma'am? I hope it is clear, right? This is not only the logic, we have some other logics also, but this is the simplest logic. Okay, like somebody used factors, okay, you can take factor 0, okay, you can add factors if the factors are 2. Okay, that is also fine, but it is a little bit complex. Okay, it's very simple, na? Nothing is there, just we are checking with the only in between 2 to n, that is 2 to n means 2 to n minus 1. 2 to n minus 1 means already we are considering 1 to n. Okay, just if there is any number in between 2 to n minus 1, it's divisible by okay, in between any number 2 to n minus 1 is a factor for n, then obviously it is not a prime, otherwise it's a prime. Okay, right. So I hope it is clear, right? If it is not a prime, then my program is yeah, maybe there is something wrong with your logic. Okay, please check it out. The only thing is whenever you are doing some program, if you are not getting some output, simply what you will do is you try to trace your program. Tracing means you try to use more print statements. Okay, for example, you are feeling like something here I am not getting correct output. Then here you do one thing. After this you do one thing here. Print, write your name. Write your name. Something you write your name. If this is executing means what? So till this line there is no issue. Okay? Like that you are going to test your program. You try to add more and more print statements so that you can understand if your name is printing means till this part there is no mistake in your program. Again you write some other name here. Okay? So here also your name, here also some other whatever you are written it is printing means there is no mistake till this part. So you try to trace your program in such a way, right? After means in the end, I'll see your screen at the end. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I want to start a new topic actually in today's class. That is functions. It's very important and very useful. I think already the students who are having knowledge in C, maybe you are having some idea of functions. Functions is very important in any language, not only in C. Okay, it's very important topic in all the languages. Even it's very important in Java also. Okay? Even it's very important in PHP also, right? So what is a function? I'll define this function using some using some 2 to 3 points. First point is function is nothing but a collection of statements, or we can say block of statements, collection of statements. Second thing is going to perform some task. Okay? It will perform some task. Third thing is it may or may not return value. May or may not return value. So these are the 3 points. Why I written these 3 points, I'll explain. And one more important point, if you want to define any function in Python, you are going to use a keyword for defining function in Python. The keyword is def. Def. Def is a keyword used to define any function. The syntax is def. You can write your function name. Def. You can write your function name. Okay, and you can write okay, your logic, and you can write your statements. And write your statements here. So here this is the simple syntax for any function. Okay. What is this first point? Collection of statements. Collection of statements means you can write any number of statements in a function, like how we are writing some number of statements under a particular loop. Like in while loop, we written some statements. In yesterday's program, we written some three statements. Okay, for Armstrong program. Okay, under for loop, for example, we are written some statements. Under if statement, under if condition, we written some statements. Like that, under a function also, you can create some statements. You can write n number of statements. Okay, so that statements we can call it as the statements of a particular function. The block of statements in a particular function. They are known as the block of statements in a particular function. Second point is it is going to perform some task. Means it is going to perform some operation. The task may be any operation, any function. For example, I can write a function for adding 2 numbers. Okay. So here my function task, my function job is adding 2 numbers. Or I can write a program for adding some subtraction of 2 numbers or multiplication of 2 numbers. Okay, or finding out even or odd. Whatever may be the task. Okay, it is going to perform some task. Next, it may or may not return a value. May or may not return a value means some functions are going to return values and some functions may not going to return value. Okay, so some functions are going to return value, some functions may not return value. Actually, regarding this point, we'll get some more clarity in the next class. Okay, but you remember this definition, third point, it may or may not return a value. Okay, so I hope at least you got some clarity, right? What is function? Okay, now I'll try to write small program for function. Small program. I'll create a small function here. Try to understand. As I told you, we are going to use def. I'm going to create some function. The function name is function1. You can write anything you want, you can write. Enter I. So this is one statement under this function. Hello. So here you can write n number of statements under a particular function. Okay. So here this is what we can call it as function definition. Okay. So you created a function with some name. Under this function, you have written some statements. Okay. This is nothing matter. These are known as the block of statements or collection of statements under this function. So this function one is having these statements. Okay, these are known as block of statements. And one more very important point. Okay, so this is function creation or function definition. But whenever you are going to use your function, okay, you must call the function. Okay, once you define the function, okay, you must call it. You must call somewhere. So that is the main point here. So the main purpose of function is nothing but okay, it is going to perform some task, but it should be called somewhere. If you define something, na, if you return some function, if you return some function definition, there is no use. It must be called somewhere. How we are going to call a function? Function can be called by its name. I'll tell you in this example. Yeah, I created a function. So that is function. Now I want to call this. Calling. How can I call? I can call here. Okay. Simply by using its name only I can call. Okay. So otherwise you can call it as this is nothing but your main program. Okay. You can remember like this in main. Okay. Actually main is not there in Python, but for your understanding, okay, we can call this. Okay. So we can call outside. This is nothing but function definition. Till this line, this is function definition. If you observe these all lines, all the code, whatever I written, it is under indentation of the function definition. Under FUN1, these three lines are there. Okay. But what about this function calling? I am going to call this function. For example, if I don't call, what will happen? Nothing. We don't get any output. Is it clear to all? Is it clear to all what I explained regarding function calling and function definition? Okay. So yeah, I'll save this program. What is the main use of function? Okay, that is fine. You have created a function, you are calling it. Okay, so whenever I call this function, whatever the logic I written inside that function, that will be executed. So here, if I run this program, then the three statements will be printed. Okay, this is fine. Okay, if you have any doubts, okay, so let me delete this line. Let me delete this line. If I delete this line, if there is no function calling, then nothing will be printed. Why? Because just we created, but it is not doing anything. I'm not calling it. If I don't call, then what will happen? Nothing will happen. If you observe here, there is no output. For the same program, previously I got these three lines. But here, because I deleted function calling, so nothing will be printed. So that's why whenever you are going to create any function, you must call it somewhere. You can call n number of times. Okay, I want to call some 10 times. So this is the main use of functions. The main use, define once and call n number of times. This is the main use. How many times I'm calling? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times I'm calling. You can call 1,000 times, you can call 1 lakh times. But how many times I defined? I defined only one time. But I am calling n number of times. That is the main advantage of functions. This is also known as reusability of code. Reusability of code means you are not writing the code again and again. You are writing only once, but you are calling in n times. You are calling it in n times. That is main use. That is known as reusability of code. Is it clear to all? Is it clear now?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now I'll try to execute this program. Okay. So if you observe here, how many times I called this function? Okay. So those many times I got the output. So I told you, but the thing is, here I called so many times. How many times I
Oh,
called?
okay,
Okay.
sir.
For called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times I called. Please mute.
Prasad, mute cheskama.
No, please mute. Please, okay. If you have any doubts or anything, just you respond in the chat, mark. Okay. Okay. So here now all of you please observe this program. This is nothing matter. We can call it as reusability of code. I defined function only one time actually. How many times I written the block of code under function one? I written something actually. Okay, it is nothing but simply printing some message. Okay, so how many times I defined the definition is done in only one place. Function one is defined only one place. One time only I defined. But how many times I am calling? I am calling, for example, 6 times. Or you may call more than 6 times. You can call 1,000 times. Okay. So that is the main advantage of functions. Okay. Define once, call n number of times. In general, assume that there is no function. There is no functions concept in Python. Assume that there is no functions concept in Python. You want to print this 3 lines 1,000 times. You want to print this lines 1,000 times. Then what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to write. Okay, you are supposed to define all these things again and again. But because of functions, you are defining only one time, and you are calling the same function n number of times wherever you required. Okay, you want to call this function. Okay, in some other program also you want to use the same function. For example, this is some 58.py. This is 58th program. For example, you have created 59th program. In that program also you want to use the same function. Okay, so in general, what we'll do, we can write the same function again in other program also. This is normal way. But what we'll do, we don't need to write the same program again and again and again in different places. If you are going to write the same program, same logic again and again, then that is nothing but the duplication will be increased and the complexity of the program is becoming very difficult. Okay, the complexity will be increased and redundancy will be increased, and you may not you may not have the clarity on the program what you are writing. So functions, actually the other application of the functions is they are going to be used for the modularity. Okay, what is the meaning of the word modularity? Okay, so one advantage is just now I said code reusability. Code reusability is one advantage. Means define once, okay, all, okay, anytime, okay, any number of times, n number of times you can call it. This one advantage, and one more advantage is modularity. What is the meaning of modularity? Modularity means, for example, I have a very big program. The program is of some 1,000 lines. Okay, if I given that program to you, okay, maybe it is very difficult to understand my program, my logic, because it is 1,000 lines program. You may not understand what is happening in each and every line. Same 1,000 lines program, if I given in the form of some 50 functions, where each and every function is having some 20 lines. Okay, so there is a lot of difference between dividing a program into functions and writing a program without using functions. If I am not using any function, it looks like a very big program. Like for example, the program is of some 1,000 lines. Okay, so if you want to understand 1,000 lines, it is very difficult because there is no sequence and there is no particular format. But the same 1,000 lines program, if I use the concept of functions, if I created some 50 functions where each and every function is going to have some 20 statements. Okay, so you can understand what function one is doing. Okay, what are the 20 lines in function one? What is the code for function one? Next, what is function two is doing? What is function three is doing? What is function four is doing? That is nothing but a modularity. Modularity means dividing a program into functions or subprograms. Dividing a big program into modules, or we can say into functions or into subprograms. Okay, so this is very easy to understand and easy for the developer to understand. And one more very uh, easy for the developer also. Okay, it is nothing but we can say simplicity. Simplicity means if you observe here this program, whatever we written, this example program, it's very clear. Actually, there is nothing difficult in this. Okay, so it's very simple. Everyone easy to understand. Very simple. For example, now I'll write one more function here so that we can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I want to define one more function here. This is function 2. Okay, so here I want to write I'll write something like I am function 2. Okay, and I want to write some more functions. Okay, so I can call it as this is function 3. I am function 3. I'm function 3. So, for example, if I want to I am function 1. I am function 1. Okay, so just I'm removing all these lines for the simplicity. Okay, now if you observe this program, it's very simple. Okay, where this program is having some 3 functions, and I'm calling these 3 functions. Is there any difficulty? It's very simple, right? It's very clear. So there is nothing complex in this. That is the meaning of simplicity. Okay, if I am not using a concept of function, even though if I am trying to explain the same thing without using functions, okay, maybe you can feel it is a little bit difficult, because there is no separation. There is no separation of the code. Okay, there is no clarity. So that is the point what I'm trying to explain. Third point, okay, simplicity. So you can easily understand what is first part, what is second part, what is third part. As I said, it's nothing but a division, means dividing like in modularity. I told you, right, it is dividing a big program into modules. Okay, so that is what here I'm trying to do. Just I divided the entire program into modules so that it's very clear. Okay, this function 1, okay, this is having these statements. This function 2, this is having these statements. This function 3, this is having these statements, and I am calling all these functions. So if you run this program, it's okay. So in which order you are calling? You are calling first function 1, function 2, function 3. So that is the output what we got. First function 1 is called. Okay, so that's why we are getting output. I am function 1. Next you are calling function 2. I am function 2. I am function 3. So by using these functions, okay, you can easily understand how the flow of program. Okay, how the flow of program will be executing. So if you want to call function 3 first, then up to you. Okay, here there is no need to follow, because I written first function 1, I written second function 2, next I written function 3. So I am going to follow the same order, means it's not like that. That is up to you. What requirement you are having, in the same requirement you can use. And I written 3 functions. I am going to use all these 3 functions, means okay, you may use 3 functions or you may use 2 functions also. That is up to you. Okay, so depending on the requirement, you can use the program in such a way that you try to write a separate function for each and every task. As I said, okay, so here I am not calling function 1. I defined function 1, but I am not calling function 1. So I am calling only 2 functions, function 2 and 3. So that's why I am not getting function 1 output. The task of function 1 is I am not getting here, right? So any doubts here? First thing is, what is a function? Okay, how you are going to define a function? This is a keyword actually. Def is a keyword followed by function name, and in the logic, whatever you want to write, you can write the logic here. This is known as the block. Okay, function block. This is function 2 block. This is function 3 block. This is function 1 block. Once your function definitions are over, you are supposed to call those functions. So this is function calling. Any doubts here? These are actually simple examples only. Why can't we use repetition? There is, why can't we use repetition means actually that is one of the feature of the functions. Okay. Once you are written, automatically you can call any number of times. You don't need to repeat the code. You don't need to rewrite the code. That is what your doubt, right? Why can't we use repetition? Adinarayana, am I explaining your doubt? Actually, the feature, the speciality of the function is, okay, code reusability. You don't need to write the logic n number of times. Write the logic only once, but use it in different places. That is nothing but a functions concept. If I want to give some examples, I can give some real-time examples. Okay. Yes. For example, you are having a bag. You are having some bag. Okay. So the bag is laptop bag. Laptop bag you are having. Maybe you purchase that laptop bag only for the purpose of carrying your laptop to the college. Okay. But suddenly you want to go to your relative's house for a function. Okay. At that time you are not having any luggage bag. Okay. And you don't have time also to purchase luggage bag. Then what you will do? Simply you can use that laptop bag for carrying your clothes. So the laptop bag is going to be reused. Same object or same function we can say. Okay, the task of laptop bag is carrying laptop, right? But now what is the purpose? Your job is now, okay, you have to carry the clothes. If you want to carry the clothes, then same laptop bag you are using for the same purpose. Are you purchasing any new bag? You are not purchasing any new bag. Same purpose okay, you are using the laptop bag for carrying your clothes also. Okay, so means reusability. You are using the same bag for other purpose. I hope all of you got some idea regarding these functions, right? Is it clear? Okay, right. So you can create wonders with the help of these functions, because most of the programming languages, especially C, Python, Java, okay, they are purely depends on functions only. What type of function you are going to write? Okay, if you are going to think a lot, you can write a function by your own. Okay, if you more think, and you can write more functions. You can create more functions. If you are going to write more and more functions, then obviously your programming skills will be improved. Always you have to write function by your own, so that it's very easy to achieve any type of functionality or any type of task can be easily achieved by writing your own function. Okay, so any doubts here? Just we started the basic concepts of functions, okay, and how a function will be defined and how a function will be called. Okay, I told you this third point will get slowly, because these functions maybe we are going to discuss for next 2 to 3 classes. Okay, because we are going to discuss about different types of arguments. Okay, different types of functions and how a function will be called. Everything we'll discuss. We'll add some some important programs also on functions, and whatever the programs we written so far. Okay, so those programs are written without using functions. If you want to convert all the programs, whatever discussed so far, you can convert all the programs by using functions also. That is also can be done, right? Okay. So if you don't have any doubts, then I'll stop here. Please let me know if you have any doubts in the chat box. .py file not opening. Pavan Kumar, please send me the error or screenshot so that I can understand which app you are using. Okay, I said like the PyDroid app, most of the students are using in your class. Okay, yeah, your friends are using, right? So, can anyone but not open? PyDroid 3 application downloaded but not opening. Okay, if it is not opening, then you uninstall it again. You install. Maybe there is, maybe it's not. Okay, it's not installed properly. I think so.
చేసాడు సార్ అలా కూడా చేశాడు నాకు మెసేజ్ చేస్తున్నాడు 2 రోజుల నుంచి అన్ఇన్స్టాల్
Okay.
కూడా చేసి మళ్ళీ చేశాను సార్ అలా కూడా అవ్వట్లేదు అంటున్నాడు.
Okay, means only you are unable to open .py file. Are you able to create a .py file? py file create చేయలేస్తున్నారా? ఓన్లీ ఓపెన్ చేయలేకపోతున్నారా?
అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మాట్లాడమ్మా పవన్.
సార్
చెప్పు.
ఓపెన్ చేస్తున్నాను సార్. ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంటే ప్రాపర్ యాప్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసలేదు అని వస్తుంది సార్.
అదే అదే అసలు అంటే నీకు అది ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు యాప్ అంతేనా?
సార్ ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు.
ఓకే, అంటే ఓన్లీ PyDroid తోనే ప్రాబ్లమా, ఇంకా వేరే ఏమన్నా యాప్స్ కూడా ఇలానే ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చిందా?
ఇది ఒకటే ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్, అన్ని ఓపెన్ అవుతున్నాయి.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే, ఒకసారి సరే నేను లేదు అంటే PyDroid సంబంధించి .api ఫైల్ ఉంటుంది. .api ఫైల్ నేను పంపిస్తాను, డైరెక్ట్ .api తో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి చూడు.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకేనా? అట్లా వస్తే మాక్సిమం అయితే అవ్వాలి. ఇంకా వేరే యాప్స్ ఏమైనా చేసావా పైథాన్ సంబంధించి? నాట్ ఓన్లీ PyDroid, లైక్ మొబైల్ ఐడి, పైథాన్ మొబైల్ ఐడి అని ఇంకో యాప్ ఉంటుంది. అలాంటివి ఏమైనా చేసావా? వేరే ఏమైనా వస్తున్నాయి అసలు?
పైథాన్ 3.7 డాస్ ఒకటి చేశాను సార్. పైథాన్ ఐడిఈ చేశాను సార్, అంతే సార్.
మాధురి Sri Prajna, I am also unable to open. You are also not opening, but where are you practicing or not, ma? Sri Prajna, I think I seen some of your programs in your app, right? In the past you shared your screen, I think so.
Sir, I'm practicing in my laptop, sir.
Okay.
But the file is not opening.
Where? In your mobile, huh?
Yes, sir. PY file is not opening, sir.
Okay, today I'll do one thing. Again, I'll share a screenshot. Okay, how to open .py file with the app name also. Okay, so I'll open some files in PyDroid app. I'll try to share that screenshot with the output also. After executing that program, how you are going to get output? You try to install the same app. Okay, if it is already installed or if there is some issues, you try to uninstall it and you try to install a fresh app. Okay, so if still if we are facing any doubts, we'll see. But mostly, yeah, because it is not having any requirements also for installing this app. There are no requirements. Okay, so you don't need to install any other apps also. Like if you want to install some softwares, you should have some requirements. But for this Python, especially in an Android device, okay, you don't need to install anything. Even if you purchase Android mobile today, okay, you can install this PyDroid first app also. If you install as PyDroid, then automatically it will work. There is no prerequisites for this. Anyway, I'll check it out and okay, I'll send some screenshots so that you follow in the same way. You try to check out the application from the Play Store. You try to install it and let me know if still you are facing the same issue for the next class.
Okay, sir.
Pavan Kumar also same issue.
Okay, sir.
Remaining students, anyone using this PyDroid without facing any issue, can you raise your hands? Anyone using PyDroid without facing any issue? Yes, they are using na. Adinarayana is using. Any others ma? Only Adinarayana. Remaining students, no one is using without any issues. Sharanya also using. Sai Sharanya. Okay, it will work now because I created some programs and I opened some Python files, .py files. I executed some files also. Okay, it definitely it will work. So if there is any issue, we check it out. Yeah, most probably I think we won't get any issue. If there are any issues, we'll discuss.